two of his codees.
Yeah.
Was online with the AUSA to push it back to May. Lil Durk didn't want to push it back. So my math could be wrong. Lil Durk saying, nah, let's go right now. The codees is saying what the DA is saying. I don't know, bro. I think at least two people is gonna flip on Durk.
Durk Banks has been sitting in solitary confinement for a very long time, man. Wack 100 is saying his co-defendants is gonna snitch. This is what Wack is saying. I didn't say it, Wack said.
A Grammy Award-winning rapper's fate lies on the outcome of his high-profile murder-for-hire case. But before the case is brought in front of a jury, his attorney is sounding the alarm, claiming his rights have been violated because of a smart tool. Federal prosecutors say Lil Durk is the mastermind of a sinister plot that ended in murder. While he should be prepping for the fight of his life, his defense attorneys say that the last 4 months he's been in isolation, and prison officials are giving conflicting reasons on why.
Well, Lil Durk.
Oh, man.
His trial is supposed to start this month, but it got pushed back to May.
I just saw the other day that they put in that request. The judge hasn't granted it yet.
Which request?
To push it back to May.
No, they granted it.
Did they?
Yeah, the judge agreed that it was a very complicated case involving a lot of different people, so May makes sense.
Now, what got my attention is...
It's October 17, 2024. We're in South Florida, near Miami International Airport, when suddenly federal agents swarmed to arrest rapper Durk Banks, known better to his fans as Lil Durk. Federal agents got worried when multiple flights were booked under his name, one to Dubai, one to Switzerland, and one to Italy, because they believed he might have been trying to make a run for it. But he never made it to boarding. When news came down of his arrest, it was shocking. His face and his mugshot were everywhere. The headlines reading, a Grammy Award-winning rapper accused of being the mastermind and orchestrator of a murder-for-hire plot to take out a rival. There's so many layers to this case that some already know. But to scratch the surface of this case, here's some quick background.
The fact that he had multiple flights booked to different places and then tried to hop on a private plane seemed like he was trying to get motherfuckers off his tail. Trying to throw niggas off. Unless you do this all the time for your own security purposes. Some niggas are just paranoid. So just because he did that doesn't mean anything wrong with it. Maybe he's paranoid. Maybe, you know what I'm saying? He doesn't want to be tracked.
Two of his codees.
Yeah.
Was online with the AUSA to push it back to May. Lil Durk didn't want to push it back. So my math could be wrong. Lil Durk saying, nah, let's go right now. The codees is saying what the DA is saying. I don't know, bro. I think at least two people is gonna flip on Durk. I hope they don't, but I believe so.
Back in 2020, Durk's best friend and collaborator, Kavon, was gunned down outside of an Atlanta, Georgia nightclub. On that night, Kavon and rapper Quando Rondo got into a fight. Although Quando wasn't accused of killing Kavon, Quando's friend was accused of shooting at him, with one of the bullets fatally striking Kavon. And if you believe the prosecution's version of events, Lil Durk wanted revenge, but he wanted to take it out on Quando Rondo. By August of 2022, the alleged plan was already in motion. Durk's alleged associates learned Quando was staying at an LA hotel. They flew from Chicago to San Diego, then drove to LA using money allegedly provided by Durk. Federal prosecutors even alleging Durk had one specific instruction: don't book no flights under no names involved with me. The killers were provided with hotel rooms, ski masks, luxury sedans, and weapons.
He's been in the hole since the Apple Watch.
Yeah, he got caught with an Apple Watch. He's been in the hole like 130 days. Apparently, there was death threats to the judge, and I guess they tried to switch the judge or something else, but then that got dismissed. So that's going forward with the same judge.
Oh, they wanted to change the judge. Yeah, that ain't gonna happen.
Yeah. So basically, so this is what happened.
So him and Big U in the hole together.
Judge Fitzgerald denied the defense's motion to dismiss over the prosecution's reported failure to disclose death threats against a bail hearings judge. Defense lawyers asked for either an evidentiary hearing on their allegations or for the removal of the U.S. Attorney's Office and Los Angeles prosecutors in the case, as well as the central district judges in California that alleged the concealment of 4 threatening voicemails to the U.S. Magistrate Judge Patricia Donahue in February and 1 threatening voicemail to Assistant U.S. Attorney Yaniello in April. According to defense attorneys, this represented an alleged effort to hide information for the purposes of avoiding bail, but the judge in this case disagreed.
The men, not including Durk, followed Quando, who was with his cousin, to an LA gas station. Then bullets flew. Prosecutors say while the intended target wasn't killed, his cousin was. Afterwards, the suspects went to an In-N-Out to discuss payment before flying home to Chicago. Durk, through his attorney, has denied he was this criminal mastermind who ordered out a hit on Quando. By November 14th of 2024, he pleaded not guilty to his federal charges, which include conspiracy, use of interstate facilities to commit murder for hire resulting in death, using, carrying, and discharging firearms in a machine gun, plus possession of such firearms in furtherance of a crime of violence. Now, while Durk wasn't accused of pulling the trigger, he's still facing a lot of years in prison if he's convicted. While federal prosecutors took the death penalty off the table, Durk and his co-defendants could face a statutory max sentence of life in prison. Again, only if convicted. The case was first slated for trial last January. Then it got pushed and pushed and pushed again. However, as I'm recording this, the trial is on the calendar set to begin in April. Durk's attorneys have filed a series of motions since he's been behind bars. Of course, they filed a motion to dismiss the indictment as the defense cited false and/or misleading grand jury evidence. That was denied. The defense filed a motion for his detention to be reconsidered. That was also denied. In the latest court filing, his defense requested a status hearing because Lil Durk's been in the SHU for 4.5 months. This is what his attorney Christy O'Connor wrote in the latest filing.
There's just
Big,
absolutely
you just
no
went
basis.
to the hole.
So
they in
here's
the
what
hole
judge said.
together.
There's just absolutely no basis for this motion, just none, absolutely none.
They're not doing it.
They're not doing it, yeah.
Big U just sent a note, a letter he sent to the judge. He's in the hole. They put him in the hole. I don't know why he's in the hole, but so I mean him and Durk probably in the same location. Yeah, man. And a lot of people telling on his case too. It's looking bad.
Yeah, they're saying that they have multiple witnesses. They're going to take the stand and say that Lil Durk was sliding for Vaughn and, wanted to get revenge for the King Von murder and so forth. Now, are those credible witnesses? When the man Drew Findling tear him up in court, we'll see what happens.
My concern is his codees.
Yeah, that's the biggest problem.
And I think one or two of them is, I hope not. You know what I'm saying? I hope not, but
Since August 29, 2025, Mr. Banks has been confined to the segregated housing unit at the Metropolitan Detention Center. In the SHU, Mr. Banks is confined to a very small jail cell, just large enough for a single bed, a toilet, and a sink for 23 hours a day. He does not have access to commissary. He is permitted 1 phone call a month and no in-person social visits. The original cause of his SHU placement was an allegation that he was in possession of an unauthorized Apple Watch. Since August 29, 2025, Mr. Banks has not received the process that is prescribed by law where an inmate is accused of an infraction. Mr. Banks' defense team has received conflicting explanations for his extended SHU detention without process. For example, in October, an attorney for MDC told us that Mr. Banks' high-profile/celebrity status is not the cause of his SHU detention. Then on December 22nd, the warden represented to us that Mr. Banks' presence in the general population poses a threat to the security and orderly running of the institution due to the high-profile nature of Mr. Banks' pending criminal case and possible violation of BOP's disciplinary program. This is despite Mr. Banks' 11-month presence in the general population prior to August 29th, without any incident whatsoever caused by his celebrity status or the high-profile nature of his case. The filing goes on to say, in response to our inquiries, the government has provided us with an internally inconsistent explanation for Mr. Banks' extended SHU detention. On one hand, the government tells us Mr. Banks' continued placement in the SHU is not based on the FBI's investigation or the USO's charging decision regarding the Apple Watch. On the other hand, the government tells us that the BOP is waiting to institute disciplinary proceedings related to the Apple Watches based on our charging decision. Both of these statements cannot be true. Either the process to which Mr. Banks is entitled has been delayed and his stay extended due to the government's ongoing investigation, or it has not.
Y'all see where we're at. Death threats to the judge, 100+ days in the hole, push the shit back to May. Wack saying them niggas is gonna goddamn flip on Durk. There's gonna be some big trials in hip hop this year. I'll tell y'all that right now. And we gonna be on top of every single trial. You know what I'm talking about?